Hello and welcome to another video by ES Repair. I am your host, Mr. Fix-It. In this video, we're going to continue with the setup of the computer. In the previous video, I showed you the introduction to BIOS and some of the things that you may have to change, especially to check to make sure all the hardware is working and is showing the correct configuration. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and start installing the operating system. Now in this case we're going to do Windows 7 Home Premium. So what I'm going to do here is go ahead and turn the computer on. Now once the computer starts booting up, again you're going to start seeing the boot screen, which is the post screen. Now what you have to do is you have to put the disk in the drive and then press any key to continue, because the computer will identify that there's no boot drive. So just insert the drive and press any key and it will start loading the setup system for the operating or the setup files for the operating system, as you see here. Now once the setup program begins, you're going to come to the setup process. What you'll do is set the language, which in this case is English, the time and currency, which is also in the English, and the keyboard layout, which is in the US. Now depending on your location it may differ, but this is the initial start of the setup process. Once you're finished, click Next. Now you're going to come to the next screen, and what this screen is going to do is ask you if you're needing to, what you need to know before you install Windows. If you need to repair your Windows, this comes in handy if you have the either a repair disk or you have the installation disk, as we do here. If you have any problems with Windows starting up, you can use the installation disk to repair Windows. Now, since this is a new install, in order to do this, you cannot use an upgrade disk. Upgrade disks are only for existing operating systems. For instance, if you have Windows Vista installed, then you can use the upgrade disk to upgrade an existing Windows operating system. If you're going to be doing this, you have to have what's called a System Builder disk or a OEM disk. These are disks that are supplied with brand new computers. It allows you to install an operating system on a new PC like we're doing here. It's called the System Builder disk or the OEM disk. Most cases it's a DVD. You can buy them for around $100 depending on where you get them from. Now what we're going to do here is, since this is a new installation, we're going to go ahead and choose Install Now, and it's going to prepare and get the installation started. Now this can take up about an hour to do. It's just going to depend on your computer. Now what you'll do next is go ahead, accept the license. Now with a System Builder disk, you can do one of two things. Either you can upgrade an existing operating system such as Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows Vista or Windows 7, or you can do a custom install. Since we're going to do a new installation, we're going to do custom because we're going to install a brand new operating system. Now if you have Vista or XP, then you can use it to upgrade those operating systems. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and choose the drive. Now if you have one hard drive in it, you're only going to see one listing. But because I have two drives listed, I'm going to have three listings. The third one on the bottom is just a second partition that I use for backups and stuff, but that's for another video. So what we're going to do here, you're going to choose an unallocated space, or you can choose a space or a partition that's on the drive. Now, when you buy these new hard drives, most of the times they're blank and they have to be formatted, as you see here. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Depends on where you get them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and select disk 0. This is always your primary drive. This is the boot drive. Disk 0 in the operating system is always the first drive. Now, once you have it selected, choose Next. And then it begins the installation process. It's going to start copying the files from the disk to the hard drive and begin the installation. Now again, this could take anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour depending on the speed of your computer. Now once we get back, we'll resume where we leave off. Once the initial installation of the operating system is installed, your computer is going to restart a couple of times, and then it's going to check different parts of the hardware. When it's finished, you're going to come to this screen. As you can see here, I'm going to install Windows 7 Home Premium, and what we're going to do now is set up the user account. You give the name of the account that you want to use it for. The computer name, you can leave it like it is if you want. That's only used if you're going to connect your computer's network to where you can share files and printers among your computers. Once you set their name, choose Next. Now you can choose a password if you want to. You don't have to. Once you get the account set up, now we have to enter the product key. Now the product key will be found on the envelope or the disk that you got when you purchased a Windows 7 System Builder disk. Now once you have your product key installed and it accepts it, you're going to come to this screen. Now it's going to detect if you have your Ethernet or Wi-Fi connected. Now in most cases you may have to install the software for the motherboard or the Wi-Fi adapter. Now what we're going to do here, now that the account's set up, it wants to know if you want to install the important updates, which in your case you may not be able to until you get the software installed to access the internet. Or you can choose Ask Me Later, or you can just go ahead and use the recommended settings. So we'll just go ahead and choose that. You can check your time, which we need to change. Make sure you're in the correct, you have it set for the correct time zone. This is the time, and you can check the date, and then choose Next. Now, once you get all that taken care of, it's going to continue, and it's going to set up your desktop now. And there you go. Now you have your desktop in place, and now you're ready to use it. And this is basically all there is to setting up or installing your Windows operating system. Now the next thing you want to do is, because this is a PC that we just built, we need to go ahead and install the drivers to the motherboard. Now you'll notice if you look down here, we can't get on the internet, but let me go ahead and show you. If you go into Control Panel, I'm going to change this to large icons. You'll notice under Device Manager that Windows has detected hardware that it does not know. So what we're going to do here, this is where most of these are installed in the computer. Now what we have here is we have the disk that came with the motherboard for all the drivers and software to work with the motherboard. You also have, you should also have any other software such as your optical drive, if you've got a CD drive in it, and your Wi-Fi or whatever the case may be. You need to have the software. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and insert the software disk to install the drivers for the motherboard. Now once you put the disk in, you should see a window that pops up. This is just let it go ahead and run the setup program for the motherboard. As you can see, this one here says motherboard support CD, so that's what we want. Choose yes. And this is going to begin the setup process. Now some of these will also come with these little add things that you can choose from. You don't have to. This is the software. This one here came with Google Toolbar if I wanted to install it. It came with Google Chrome if I wanted to install that. And Norton's Internet Security 2011. Well, of course, that's an old one. Now, you can install those if you like, but it's not required. What I'm going to do here is go to the first tab on the left. These are all the drivers. This is the driver section, and this is what we need to install. Now, what we're going to do here, we need to install the chipset. This is AMD's chipset drivers. This will begin the installation to install all the drivers in the motherboard. This is what we got to have done. Now I'm going to put the disk in for the Wi-Fi. If you get these small discs, make sure you put them right there in the center of the tray. Now once the software begins, now we can install the software for the Wi-Fi. Now again, it's going to pop up. Now it's not going to run the setup files. Now what we'll need to do, this one here is a little different. Now yours should run a setup file. If it don't, you can open the disk like I did here and select the one that you're wanting to install. Now these are all different models of the Wi-Fi, and the one I installed is this one here. This is the one, you'll see it on the box. When you take out the box, it'll be on the label of the box as to what it is. You just choose the model. There's this one here. Go ahead and open it up, and you'll see the application right here to install the software. So we'll go ahead and start it. Now the program's going to come up. Of course, you agree with the license. And choose next. Now this gives you a choice. Now if you want to, you can install its own program that monitors your Wi-Fi, or you can use Windows. It doesn't matter, it's whichever you prefer. You can go ahead and install the wireless LAN program, which also monitors everything, or you're going to do the drivers. Now I'm just going to do the drivers, and I'll just let Windows take care of the Wi-Fi configuration. So I'm just going to choose next. This is what it's going to start doing, and then choose install, and then let the program continue. Now once it's finished, you're going to come up to this. You can choose finish, and then you can go ahead and close this window. Now you'll notice down here now that your Wi-Fi has been installed, and it's going to show that you're not connected, but networks are available. Just go ahead and click on it. This is going to show the networks that are available. Now this is going to tell you the status, if it's secure or if it's not secure. This is just a warning to let you know. If your network that you're connecting to does require a password, be sure to enter that password exactly as it should be. A capital letter is a capital letter, lowercase is lowercase. This is where you'll go ahead and enter it. Now this one here isn't secure, so I can just go ahead and connect to it. But if yours does have a password, you will need to enter the password to connect. Then you want to make sure you choose connect automatically, and then choose connect. Now it's going to start connecting. Now yours may ask for a password. Again, if it does, enter the password. Once it gets a confirmation, you'll come up with this window. This window is going to ask you what kind of network this is. You can choose a home network, which has the most capabilities between sharing files and devices between computers on the same network. If you're at work, this changes the configuration of how the computer is detected by other computers in the network. If you're on a public network, then choose public, because this has the strictest connections to prevent your computer from being detected on a public network. If you're at home, just go ahead and choose home network. Now it's going to connect to the network, and it's going to apply the security changes to the network based upon the network you're connecting. Now if you want to share, you can choose what you want to share. Go ahead and choose next. Now if you're on a home network, this is going to be a password that all your computers will need to have to communicate to one another on a home group. You don't necessarily have to worry about it if it's the only computer. But this is what comes up in case you have other computers in the same home group. This is the password they all must have. Then choose finish. And there you go. Now your computer is set up, and you can now access the internet, and everything is ready to go. Well, this concludes this video. I hope that it was informative and helpful to show you how to build your own computer. In the earlier videos, we've shown you how to build a PC, how to connect monitors, get you a keyboard and mouse, set up all your internal hardware, install your drivers. Now you have a working computer. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions or any issues that you're having building your computer, don't hesitate to ask. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Stay tuned for other videos from ES Repair. Thank you for watching.